La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Da, 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 da.
That means cockroach.
La cucaracha.
Ollie definitely does not want to get off this flight. He's very content to just stay on the plane and sleep all night.
Hey, you got him!
We had a really long day of travel to get there, but we finally made it. Just before midnight, I was feeling pretty sick and we all just crashed when we got to the hotel.
So we made it into the old town last night in Quito. We had a bit of an adventure. We got in super late. But Steph is feeling a bit sick today and also needs to get some work done, so she thought she would combine the two things. She's going to get some work done in bed, but hopefully get lots of rest so that she can be better tomorrow. And I'm taking most of the kids, 4 of them, say hi guys, out to the old town in Quito to see what we can find. So we just got to downtown Quito, actually to the old town Quito, and it looks like they're celebrating Carnaval here, which is interesting because it seems like everywhere we go they celebrate Carnival at a different time. Something we didn't know before we came on this trip, but they have Carnaval going on today. It's 4 days, and I think tomorrow is the last day, if we understood some of the locals correctly. And there is people everywhere here. So people are spraying this stuff. I don't know. It's kind of like water with it. I think it's essentially it's like bisodium carbonate, I think. And they're spraying it all over the place. Super fun. The kids got some, and you can see a battle has just broken out. All of the kids really enjoyed the kind of spray fights that they had with the locals, including Oliver, except for he didn't like getting sprayed. He was really bothered by having wet stuff on him, and so much so that he actually was wiping his hands and even his head off on random walls whenever he would get sprayed. He would just like walk up to the walls and kind of just like wipe his head off on the wall.
But at least it wasn't on people, so there's that.
That's right. What happened?
Someone sprayed on me.
Yeah, they did spray it on you. Was it funny?
No. Not shooting properly. This one's broken.
Oliver doesn't like the stuff on his hands very much. Next we're about to go into La Campana de Jesus. Did I pronounce that correctly? I hope so. It is a really, really cool Jesuit church where the inside is completely covered in gold. So we're gonna go check that out. Oh my goodness. This wall is covered in gold. Can't wait to see the inside.
When you do the head kind of get there, you can see.
It's awesome.
It feels like you're alone.
That church was totally wicked. Inside was covered with gold, and some of the most unusual and interesting icons I've ever seen. There's a really cool one with a guy holding a cross in one hand and a skull in the other hand.
After spending one whole day at the hotel sick, I felt so much better by day 2, well enough that we could all go out and have a day to explore together, and I was excited to see the city, but the family was really excited to show me all of their favorite things.
We're on day 2 of Quito, and today we're heading out to something we kind of try to avoid the tourist traps, but this seemed a little bit too.
Well,
it's gonna be cheesy, but it's gonna be.
But like, it's also kind of cool, but it's a little bit cheesy. Like, we're going to the equator.
We just arrived at Mitad del Mundo, which is the center of the earth, basically. We're gonna go stand on the equator.
Yep, we get to put one foot on the northern hemisphere, one foot on the southern hemisphere. And the thing is, who gives a crap? I mean, really. But for some reason, we were still drawn to do this. It's a total tourist trap.
Totally
I mean, what
cheesy.
difference does it really make? But you know,
It's
we
kind of
kind of
fun.
still want to do it. It's kind of fun. The kids wanted to do it.
Yeah. What is it? You can go on it, but what is it? Oh, it's so cool.
All throughout the site, there is a long painted yellow line, kind of like something you'd see on a highway. And the idea is that on one side is the northern hemisphere and on the other side is the southern hemisphere, which is really kind of cool idea.
Yeah,
But-
to like stand on either side
Right,
of it.
and you feel like you're standing on both sides of the equator.
Yeah.
The reality is,
You're not really.
you're not really. No, the equator is like, it changes all the time. It's got about 5 kilometers that it could be anywhere within those 5 kilometers, like the exact middle line. And so you don't really know whether you're standing in the right place or not.
It's not that it's not close or that
Uh-huh.
they haven't tried. It's just you can't precisely say, here is the equator.
Exactly.
There's this tower on the site that you can walk up and get a great view and look like right out over the line behind you and in front of you and just get a really good view of the city.
You guys gotta come check out this museum.
Then you can go down through the tower and there's a really cool museum that teaches you about Ecuador and also about the equator.
Oh, I see. That was the summer solstice. Now it's moving to the autumn equinox.
It was actually one of the cooler museums I think that I've been to. It was interesting, it was educational, it had cool little science experiments. Some fallacies were propagated.
Like the whole water swishing different
Yeah.
directions.
Yeah, and they sold really, really good chocolate.
Best part.
We normally try to avoid tourist traps like Mitad del Mundo. But in this case, we wanted to do it because we like things that give us a sense of our size or our place in the universe. And so being able to put one foot on one hemisphere and one foot on the other hemisphere kind of is humbling.
Yeah.
And so that was fun, even if it wasn't really actually real what hemispheres we were on. Just the thought of it and the exercise was worth going for. I really wanted to go to Basilica
del Voto Nacional.
del Voto Nacional on our very first day, but we didn't time it right and ended up getting there right after it closed, which was kind of great anyways because
I wasn't there.
you weren't there and we got to go together.
We did.
Super famous here in Quito and really, really beautiful. And you can see it here behind me. It is huge. What we're most excited about is actually climbing to the top and getting a view of the city.
I got friends in high places, but that don't mean that I'm alright.
So it was a bit of a scary hike up here. I'm actually a little bit surprised that they let us do it, but holy cow, was it ever worth it.
Awesome! Amazing.
There was this amazing puppet guy. I feel like puppets are a thing in Quito. Because I saw
Yeah.
probably 3 or 4 people doing puppets
Like
out
on the
street.
streets with like really cool puppets and these like great little theater setups.
Yeah, but there was this one guy, like he was epic.
It was really good.
I mean, it was like, so I'm a musician and I was watching these puppets were like playing their instruments and I was watching to see if they were playing the instruments in time to the music or not, and they actually were. Like the guy with the maracas was playing in time to the maraca beat, the guitar was playing in time to the guitar. It was really impressive.
You just said maracas instead of maracas.
One of the most beautiful buildings in Quito is actually the, what is it? Iglesia y Convento de San Francisco. And it's just a beautiful like convent in the kind of in the center of town. But there's lots of birds there, which the kids love chasing around.
Big open courtyard. People sit there. They sit on the steps of the church, and you've got a beautiful view of some of the buildings in the city. It was a great place to hang out.
I don't think Quito's especially known for its ice cream, but there was this one vendor outside with like this bowl that was filled with, it was essentially just fruit stuff, I think. I don't even know if there was any cream in it. And he was spinning it in a bigger bowl of ice, and that's how he was turning it into ice cream, actually. So the kids all asked me for it, and of course I said yes, because I'm that kind of dad.
Softy.
Yeah. Oliver, I need to ask you a very important question. Are you enjoying that ice cream? Are you sure? Are you sure you're enjoying it? I love statues, and on a big hill in Quito, there is a statue called El Panacillo.
I think it's Virgen de El Panacillo.
Look at that view. I think it's the Virgin Mary with wings, right?
It looks like
We think
it.
so. But it is huge, and you can see it from all sorts of points in the city. We kept seeing it whenever we're driving around. We saw it from the convent, and it's just really striking and beautiful. So early in the morning, I decided that I really wanted to go out and get a close-up view. So I got up at sunset, basically, took a taxi out there, and spent a couple of hours just admiring it and looking at the city, and maybe even taking my drone out.
One of the places that the family insisted we had to go back to was Cafe Plaza Grande, and it was because there was an experience that they said I absolutely had to have.
So they have this really fun tradition at this restaurant where whenever you order ice cream, a guy in a purple robe and a purple hat comes out with like a steaming bowl of ice cream.
It
With
proceeded by like gong, gong, before he even walks out of the kitchen.
I may have accidentally called the guy in the purple robe, which is supposed to be Cucuruchu. I might have accidentally called him the cucaracha.
What is cucaracha?
La, 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 la.
It's not cucaracha.
You know what? It is.
It's not.
Okay, what is it?
Well, it's cucaracha, and it means a cockroach.
Ah,
A cucuruchu is actually a penitent. It's like somebody who's sorry for their sins and who usually does something sacrificial during like Semana Santa, like the Easter celebrations for Catholic people in Latin America. And it also looks strikingly like a Ku Klux Klan costume. And I did get a lot of comments about that on Instagram. So it's very important to point out it is not related to it in the slightest. It is just a very old tradition that, unfortunately, maybe the Ku Klux Klan was inspired
borrowed it or
by
something.
their
I don't know.
hats and costumes, but it's not related. Quito was a really beautiful city. I'm sad that I was sick the one day and didn't get to explore it more. I know you guys really loved it.
To be honest with you, I'd never even heard of Quito before. I didn't even know. No, if you'd said to me, where's Quito? I would have been like, you mean the diet? Like, I wouldn't have had any clue where it was. It's just like a really pretty city. It's got lots of really beautiful architecture, a lot of history, a lot of culture.
Big plazas and squares and
yeah.
places to just hang out and see people. It was a great city. After Quito, we were so excited to get deeper into Ecuador because we had been told that the country is just beautiful and we couldn't wait to explore it for ourselves. So we got a van and driver and we headed for the town of Baños.
And I got friends in high places, but that don't mean that I'm alright.
Baños de Agua Santo.
Baños de Agua Santo.
Holy toilets. No, that's not